Alright. It's time. It's time to go stare. It's time. We gotta just power it down. We just have to get every dunk, every possession. No bang bang this game unless we're exactly wide open. Just windmill 360 from 3-point line.
Is this motherfucker serious?
Wait, did you record that, Donnie?
Bitch, what's my name?
You done goofed up now. That made my night when
Why
I
the
first
fuck
heard
would
that
you do
bit.
that? Why? Hey yo guys, this is Jared, aka the Saint of Sins on Xbox Live, bringing you some more NBA 2K13 Blacktop gameplay featuring someone who claimed to be a subscriber of mine. Yeah, I highly fucking doubted that. This is that video I was reluctant to bring because I know it'll leave me looking like a dick. Well, probably a bigger dick than some of you have already come to accept. Hey, I warned you people that I'm a dickhead, but apparently some of you don't listen to me speak. You just look at the pretty colors flashing across your screen. Ooh, pretty. Okay, enough of that bullshit. Let's get into this bullshit instead.
And he's got a stupid computer. And he's black. And he's black. Oh, Donnie! Can we stop this boy?
Cool.
I'm right in his face. Yeah, Donnie.
Right, dying.
Donnie this, Donnie that. Motherfucker, what's my motherfucking name? I only say it at the start of every fucking video I ever make, and yet this guy claims to be a fan of mine. If he's a fan, then I don't want them. I don't care to be hoisted up on some sort of pedestal and treated as some kind of celebrity, or like I'm special just because I sank $200 into a PVR to capture footage of a video game to post on YouTube. Any schmuck can do this. But what really bugs me about this guy was the racist tirade he went off on prior to me getting into a game lobby with him. I thought I had that recorded, but going through all of my footage, nope. That hissy fit he threw isn't on my hard drive. And most of this footage began to skip and get all choppy upon my attempts to edit it. This is the second time Premiere has done this to me, and I still can't figure out how or why. But you know what? Let's get into a full game with this clown and his buddy, who, for all intents and purposes, shall just be known as Battered Housewife.
Ah, jeez, I feel bad for my Donnie because he's got a point guard on him. That's an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time.
What the fuck does that mean? How is this a disadvantage for me? I've got a smaller guy to post up on who cannot stop me, and I'm supposed to believe there's a disadvantage in this matchup for me? Where? The perimeter game? Not likely, given I've shut down some pretty good players who try to abuse me outside of the paint with their dribble moves, and I handle myself fairly well enough to prevent them from really doing a whole lot. Someone explain to me the fucking rationale of feeling sorry for me when I've got a smaller player who I can abuse in the paint. Is this motherfucker serious? And for the record, throughout most of the time I played with this guy and his battered housewife, which was apparently sometime over an hour on this particular day this footage was captured, I was almost completely silent. I didn't know what to say or how to handle such a completely awkward fucking situation. I would almost rather be in a less ridiculously uncouth scenario, such as walking in on my grandmother going to town on herself with a vibrator while listening to D. Martin albums. That wouldn't faze me nearly as much as trying to deal with someone who I don't know, calling me by a name, continuously, that doesn't even come within the realm of my own, but claims he watches my videos. And, if it wasn't already painfully maladroit, with him calling me by my character's name, he would constantly play something in the background loud enough to be picked up by his microphone. I didn't need an encore of my own video played to me through your Xbox headset. I saw that video enough times to no longer find joy or humor in it. Are you aware of how many hours I sit through this footage, carefully scripting it out and double checking to see if everything not only aligns, but that every word registers what I was trying to convey? I don't half-ass this production like a certain Call of Duty lord who bitches and bemoans his every inch of success. I'm not Wings of Redemption. I actually give a fuck what my videos look and sound like.
Yo. Like. It's cool, it's cool. Right here. Right behind you.
Dude, you're not as open as you think you might be. Calm down.
My threes is on 99.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you walked away from my video with a lesson learned. You saw me tear into a man for not passing the ball, not even once. And in that previous drive, you don't even want to get the ball moving? Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're not at that part of the gameplay just yet. Now we're there.
I missed it.
Because you being the ball hog.
You took, yo.
Get ready.
I know you're not talking about me, but you ball hog too.
I don't do that.
Alright, you don't.
I hold on to the ball and use it wisely. There's a difference. Ball hogging is fucking up when you have the ball. Holding on to it all the time. There you go.
I told you.
This cunt is serious. We're gonna redefine the term ball hog to try and exclude your selfishness? And battered housewife is supposed to be your friend that you're selling this shit to? I really don't have a problem with Michael Hollow 1 over here. I probably would have accepted his friend request had we met under different circumstances. He seemed like a cool enough and laid back enough guy, but he keeps some shitty company. Mythic had no problem putting him down at times, and while it may have been playful, from an outsider's perspective, it really felt awkward to see two supposed friends engage in belittling chatter. Oh, I'm sorry, that would imply that Hall actually got some rounds off to hit Mythic back. He didn't. At no point did I recall Hall ever putting a firm boot upside Mythic's chrome, and that's kind of a shame because, in all honesty, no one should be left to feel smaller by someone they call friend. And yes, Mythic, you are the very definition of a ball hog. The rare times you pass, I suspect you were trying to hit the X button, but your finger slipped. Christ, this is really starting to feel more like a focused effort to single out one person, when really, this is more about every sub who acts like a prick when they're in party chat with you. In hindsight, I probably should have started recording this party chat session I had with Sub the Gamer and YMD Gento just to really stray away from just pounding on iPro Mythic here, because he's not the only reason I decided to go the route of this video. So here's a bit of the setup for why I was chatting with Sub and Gento. We had all signed up to be part of a project for iPod King Carter. I won't get into great details about that until Carter actually gets all of the footage he required, but suffice it to say, it started off with Sub and I just getting in a practice game to kind of get the feel for running an online head-to-head game. Gento was brought into the party chat because Sub and he were meant to play for Carter's project. I wasn't even aware that I was party host at the time, and once Gento came in, a flood of subscribers for both got into the chat. Next thing I hear, squeakers and pre-adolescents are bickering and bitching at one another to try and get their attention. They eventually started getting in some Blacktop games with the two, while I sat out just focusing on other things, and before I knew it, the thing Sub and Gento were supposed to do almost wasn't going to happen thanks to the floods of screaming girl children who just weren't getting enough of daddy's attention. I couldn't get in a word edgewise to help relay info to Sub or Gento about their matchup. They had to play by specific rules, and I was already on my computer reading the Skype chat to relay said information. So I did the dick thing, turned the party to invite only, and kicked everyone not named Sub and Gento the fuck out. Before I could finish off the boot party I was having, one of them was already in a long, drawn-out monologue about how Sub was not allowed to talk to anyone else and that he could only be friends with him. Yeah, one of the kids in the party went single white female on the chat. If you don't get that reference, when did mommy pass out from the booze to allow you on the computer? And can I swing by to snag her up for a quick romp? You know what? Where the fuck did manners go? What the shit happened to being on your best behavior when you meet someone? How about building up a relationship so where everyone is comfortable with that level of joking around? I know some dumb cunt is gonna be like, obviously that kid was joking about Sub not being allowed to talk to anyone. Gosh! Yeah, I understand hyperbole, Napoleon Dynamite. That's not my gripe with that entire exchange. My issue was how some people belittled others and even browbeat their own friends just to look cooler in the eyes of their favorite YouTube commentator. Sorry, but that shit has the exact opposite effect. No one wants to hear you gushing over them because you're starstruck with them. And no one certainly cares to hear you bitch and moan at your friends while trying to grab their attentions as if you're the only one they should be talking to. We're just regular people who have a hobby that allows them to be known by hundreds or thousands of people. Most YouTube gaming commentators wouldn't even sniff at the celebrity D-list because we're so tiny in fan support in comparison to some of the has-been Hollywood wash-ups. So cool your tits, especially with me. I'm a quiet and reserved guy for the most part. If I get to know you well enough, then I'll actually start saying some shit that may have you rolling on the floor in tears, or questioning if I'm the Antichrist and the Mayans were right about this being the end times. I mean, I don't think it's a well-kept secret that I'm a vulgar and offensive person. Again, have you been listening to the way I speak? Anyway, this gameplay is wrapping up, and have you noticed that not once was I given the ball in the post? So much for that advantage. Mother titty fucking Christ. Yeah, he watches my videos. How many times have I said I'm a back to the basket power forward build? No, I'm just a rebound guy for this party. I'm here to clean up their messes apparently. Especially on their bad defensive rotations. So with a full point lead and only a point shy of game, Mythic convinces Hall that we need to finish on an alley-oop. And I already know this isn't going to involve me. Trust me, if I wasn't already pissed off at this guy before, I am now. What good was I in this game outside of cleaning up the boards? Defensively, I couldn't keep in front of my guy because either I was getting picked off a screen, having to rotate back onto my guy, or backing off of him while Mythic or Hall decided they wanted to pick them up. So this was a sloppy game for me, despite the stat line or the decision going in my favor. The only highlight for me in this game was the 6 rebounds I pulled down, which in my mind normally would mean I had a great game. But I had a huge advantage in the paint that was never taken advantage of, not once. Plus, I only got 3 serious touches, most of which came off of offensive rebounds. The other times I got a pass, I wasn't in a good position, or was already staring down 2 defenders between me and the hoop, so my point guard instincts took over, and I looked for the open man. Again, what fucking good was I in this game? Let's just wrap up this video by declining 1 friend request and removing 1 person from my friends list. I'll see you guys around. Probably in a better mood.